Well, a Pew Research Centre poll released this week found that around half of adults in 20 out of 24 countries surveyed had unfavourable views of Israel. This includes the UK, Canada, France, Japan, and even the United States. In Australia, 74% of adults had an unfavourable view of Israel. Now, this is an indictment on international media outlets. And no wonder so many people are prepared to repeat Hamas's lies word for word when the media's doing it, as Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, pointed out.
Like some in the media, we don't take the word of Hamas with total truth. We like to look into it when they speak, unlike the BBC, who had multiple headlines. They wrote, Israeli tank kills 26, Israeli tank kills 21, Israeli gunfire kills 31, Red Cross says 21 people were killed in an aid incident, and then, oh wait, they had to correct and take down their entire story, saying we reviewed the footage and couldn't find any evidence of anything.
It's not just the BBC. Our own ABC is no stranger to bias on Israel. And their former ABC Middle East correspondent is now a Greens politician. I was definitely not surprised by this career progression. And she even attended Parliament last week in a keffieh. Well, joining me now to discuss is influential Israeli writer and activist Hen Mazik. Hen, so terrific to have you on the show for the first time. Look, how hostile has the media coverage been on Israel, and how quick are major news organisations like the BBC and also the New York Times to take the word of Hamas as gospel?
Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say your moral clarity on this issue is rare. It shouldn't be rare, but it is. And it matters, especially now. And, you know, I've been invited to the BBC so many times and to their studio, and I've been to their newsrooms. I've seen how it operates. And to think that there are so many editors that are involved in approving a news item, and none of them thinks for a second to maybe there should be some scrutiny with these numbers that Hamas is promoting and sending us. Maybe we should think twice before we're saying that Israel is massacring dozens of Palestinians, and maybe we should think twice before we are issuing a statement like 14,000 babies are going to die in the next 48 hours. How can you even comprehend this type of bias and hatred? It's really insane to me. You know, in the Colorado attack that we've seen, a Molotov cocktail was thrown at a Holocaust survivor, at an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor, at a peaceful protest, calling for the release of the hostages, which means ending the war. They don't want to continue the war. And the guy that was throwing the Molotov cocktail cited the fact that, what he thought was the fact that Israel is killing babies. And that directly relates to what the BBC and the international media has been promoting, this biased, false narrative that is ending up with flames burning Jews around the world.
Piers Morgan this week interrupted Jewish lawyer Natasha Hausdorff some 60 times in an interview with her. And then on social media, he went and said, and I couldn't believe this comment, he said that the truth wasn't coming out of her disingenuous mouth. I mean, this genuinely appalled me. I mean, what's your reaction to treatment of Jewish women by someone like Piers Morgan?
Yeah, and he had another male comedian, and both of them were attacking this respectable lawyer that has far more understanding and knowledge about law than they do, and especially international law. You know, modern anti-Semitism doesn't wear just jackboots. It wears hashtags. It wears masquerading as activism and spread through algorithm faster than the truth ever could. And it's not coming from the fringe. It's trending on the Explore page for all of us. And people aren't being radicalized by manifestos anymore. They're being radicalized by viral content, like the one that comes out of Piers Morgan's online show. And it's dressed up as humanitarian concern. And by the time the facts catch up, the lie is already lit the match, as we've seen in Colorado. So, I mean, I think we keep asking why Jews are afraid, and we are afraid because in the last week alone, Jews have been shot in DC. In the last 2 weeks, they've been shot in DC, firebombed in Colorado. Holocaust Museum has been vandalized in Paris. and the source is a Gaza hoax or Hamas claims that people are taking as face value and not even checking it, and suddenly it's complicated to look into details. Suddenly silence. Jews see that. We notice it. We notice who speaks up, and we notice who's attacking us and who's joining the mob. And it's really disheartening to see respectable figures that have such large platforms and so much power using it this way. You know, with great power comes great responsibility, and I think it's true today more than ever, specifically about the war in Gaza.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I find it so concerning. As you say, influential people, not just Piers Morgan, but Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, millions and millions of followers, and they're encouraging this hostile sentiment. Hen Mazik, I've got to tell all my viewers to look you up and follow you on social media, because you do tell the truth, and in such a strong way, and still with empathy for all sides. So Hen, such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.